Tell me about your dead father.
And a pleasant day to you, too.
Your father died recently, correct?
I lost my father and my mother last year, yes.
Would you say he was a major influence on you?
Well, yes, I'd say he was, being that he helped raise me. Is there any particular reason you're asking?
Do you think your father would have influenced the person you are today, even if he hadn't helped to raise you?
How would that have worked?
I don't know what cats believe, but we Huskies have a traditional doctrine that teaches us that a child is not only the physical offspring of their parents, but also the product of their souls.
So, just as your body is made from a combination of your mother's and father's genes, your soul is made from a combination of your parents' souls.
That's what I just said.
Just making sure I understand.
Well, you do. Congratulations.
Okay. Sorry, what was the question?
Do you think you are who you are because your parents were who they were?
Of course. I don't know about that soul heredity thing you were talking about, but yes. Back where I'm from, people were always saying I was as stubborn as my daddy, or smart-alecky like my mama. You don't really know your parents, do you?
What? What do you mean by that?
Just that you never talk about them. You live on the other side of the continent from them. I've always figured you weren't that close.
Oh. No, I suppose we aren't.
For what it's worth, I know how you feel.
Do you?
Just because other people told me I was like my parents, that doesn't mean I always saw it in myself. Most of my life, I'd look at them and think, who are these people?
But you don't think that anymore.
No, it took a while, but I got it. I remember this one year I came home for Thanksgiving. This was after I'd been on my own for a couple years, and I started to say something to my daddy, and at the exact same time, he started to say something to me. And we each kept trying to talk over the other, neither one of us able to get a word in. We kept that up for a solid minute, then we both gave up and walked away. Neither one of us got to say what we were trying to say. I had a moment after that where I thought, okay, now I see it.
I've never had a moment like that.
Someday you will.
How do you know?
I'm surprised I have to be the one to tell you this, but it's not always about knowing. Sometimes it's about having faith. Have faith that one day you'll be with your parents and one of them will say something or do something and you'll see yourself in them and it'll click. You'll know where you came from.
We shall see. In the meantime, all I have when I look at my parents are questions.
Well, that's a start at least. What questions do you want to ask when you look at them?
So if that's a squat thrust, what's a burpee?
A squat thrust and a burpee are the same thing, baby.
What's a sprawl?
The fuck do you care what a sprawl is? Another exercise you're never gonna do, that's what it is.
Can I get back to my story now, baby?
Sorry.
Where was I? You got me forgetting my place. You had just arrived at the gym. Right. I'm at the gym, and the guy I'm there to see is in the middle of a squat thrust when I come walking up. So to get his attention, I grab his feet when he kicks him out behind him and yank him down on his face. Then I step back, and he turns around and is all like, "You better have your insurance paid up, little dog," trying to intimidate me and shit. But I ain't intimidated. I spin around and mule kick him in the teeth with both feet, split his lip open, and he rolls over on his back. And I jump on his chest, and I'm like, "Up to this point, you've been doing this the hard way, baby. You want to start doing it the easy way, all you gotta do is lay there and answer a few questions." Now he's feeling cooperative. He tells me the guy I'm looking for is named Ricky Fitzky, but he don't know where Ricky's at. The thing is, I've heard that name before. I know Ricky Fitzky runs with a gang of low-level thieves who do stick-ups and break-ins, which means the police almost definitely have a record on Ricky with his last known address.
So you call up one of your old buddies from your days on the force.
Hey, who's telling this story, baby?
Sorry?
No, I'm asking for real. Who's telling this story?
You are.
'Cause if you know how it ends and you think you can tell it better than I can, be my guest.
Please. Go ahead.
Thank you. Anyway, to your point, I did call Hagerstown PD, but none of my old buddies happened to be working today. But instead of giving up, I decided to turn a negative into a positive and make the fact that no one on duty knows me work to my advantage. So I walk into the police station, make up some bullshit about needing to talk to a detective, about getting my pocket picked just to get past the desk sergeant. Then once I'm in, I sneak up into the locker room, bust open some police dog's locker, put on his cap and one of his vests, and, disguised thusly, I'm now able to move freely throughout the building. An act of bold, diabolical brilliance. That's what I thought too, baby. So I go upstairs to where they keep the files, and there's this wet behind-the-ears cop sitting there looking like he's about 19 years old or something. He's gonna have all kinds of questions before he lets me at those filing cabinets. Who are you? What are you looking for? Are you even allowed to be here? So I just walk on by him and then make like I forgot something and turn around and I'm like, hey, they're ordering lunch for everybody downstairs. You better go tell them what you want before it's too late, baby. And this junior officer is like, hey, thanks, and gets up and runs downstairs. I'm thinking, goddamn, how I love clueless local yokel cops. Clueless local yokel cops like you used to be? No, not like how I used to be. I couldn't have been that clueless if I left the job, baby.
Wasn't there an ethics investigation?
I can't remember. Anyway, I get into the records room and I find a file on Ricky Fitzke, which tells me Ricky was last recorded living in an apartment in this public housing project on Washington Street. So I drive over there, ring the buzzer for his place. This guy answers who's like, Ricky ain't here, but he should be back in like an hour. So I drive over to the Burger King on the dual highway and get my ass a Bacon King, then drive back and park across the street from that apartment building to wait on Ricky's ass.
Did you ever try the Impossible Whopper?
Yeah, it was alright. Now shut the fuck up. I'm getting to the good part. So I'm about halfway through my Bacon King when I see Ricky coming up the sidewalk. I jump out the van and run over to him. He sees me and is like, oh shit. He actually says that, baby. Oh shit. And he turns around and tries to run, but he crosses the street and nearly gets run over by a car. So he dodges the car and ends up across the street right by my van. That's when I tackle him, throw his ass hard against the side of the van. Then I drag him around to the back of the van out of the street, sit his ass down on the curb, and I finally ask him what I've been trying to ask him all day. I lean in real close and I say, Ricky, I've been hearing a real nasty rumor that you've been selling some authentic vintage KKK memorabilia. And I heard an even nastier rumor that one of your biggest customers works on the job as a deputy sheriff right here in our very own Washington County. Now what can you tell me about that shit? And he starts in with his, I don't know, I didn't do nothing illegal, blah, blah, blah. So I give him one real good smack in the nuts with my right front paw and, you beat him? It's not a beating, baby, it's a tune-up. Is there a difference? There is a huge difference. A beating is just when you're beating on someone. Could be for any reason or no reason. A tune-up is when you know the person you're tuning up can tell you what you need to find out, but they just need a little persuasion. So you use violence to persuade them to cooperate with you. Exactly. Like torture. Torture doesn't work, baby, but tune-ups do. Employed properly. Anyway, that smack in the nuts is all the tune-up Ricky needs. He tells me what I need to know. He has been selling KKK shit to the deputy sheriff I'm investigating for this case, which means tomorrow I get to go talk to this deputy and ask him some questions, like, what the fuck is so great about the fucking KKK? And what do you want your next job to be after I tell your superiors and the local paper about your personal private clam museum and your ass gets fired?
Nice.
So, what do you have to say now, Mr. Oh, please don't assault people in the course of an investigation?
I can't approve of using violence to compel someone to talk, but if it results in a white supremacist losing his job in law enforcement, I suppose I can't get that upset about it either. Welcome to the wonderful world of compromised morality. Oh, I've been here for a while. Alright, but y'all are talking over me and I'm not done with the story yet. Here comes the best part. I open the door to my van, and the rest of my Bacon King is on the floor. I guess when I slammed Ricky into the side, the impact must have knocked it off the seat.
Remember that time you slammed into me so hard the impact nearly knocked me into the aisle of the movie theater?
Which time?
When we saw Paddington 2.
Oh yeah, that was a good one, baby. So what did you do to Ricky after you saw he had inadvertently knocked your burger on the floor? I shoved his ass in the van, drove back to Burger King, and made him buy me a new Bacon King. That's what I did to him.
That's some Magnum PI shit right there.
No, not really. Magnum PI was a good-ass show, but it just ain't realistic. Real-life private detective work ain't nothing like that. Anyway, I need to go talk to Wilhelmina and see if it's okay for me to meet with this KKK cop at Pete's tomorrow.
Wilhelmina's like Rick.
Does that make you Higgins?
You know, I always thought Magnum was like the ideal man. Tough but sensitive, strong sense of justice, always willing to stand up for the downtrodden, funny but not clownish, and a mustache you could scour pans with.
Except for the mustache, sounds like you're describing me, baby.
Well, I didn't want to embarrass you by just saying it outright.
I appreciate it. Anyway, I'm out of here. Catch you later, babies.
Aye, I'll be heading over to Pete's as well.
Bye, Toby Benson. Bye, Jack. Ciao.
Bye, Toby Benson. Bye, Jack. Well, on that note, I'm going to go in here and edit for a while.
Have fun.
Oh, by the way, Stuffy, did you do the shopping last?
Yes. Did I forget something?
No, it's just that you got tissues like I asked you to, but you didn't get me the special man tissues.
The special man tissues.
Yeah, you know, He-Nex blow rags, the facial tissue specially designed for use by men.
I don't know how I could have made such a terrible mistake.
No big deal. Just try to remember next time it's your turn to go grocery shopping.
You realize that product is just a marketing ploy.
How so?
When companies market products that have no good reason to be gendered at a specific gender, in this case, men, they're just leveraging your fragile male ego to get you to buy what they're selling.
No, Stuffy, He-Nex blow rags are really different. They're tougher, which makes them better able to stand up to a man blowing his nose. And they're treated with soothing aloe vera, which helps to relieve the redness and irritation that men experience when they have a runny nose.
But that's just my point. Everyone experiences those symptoms when they have a runny nose. And those tissues don't sound any different than any other tissues that have been sold without gendered branding for decades. He-Nexes, Brogurt, Manstank, Dude Wipes, Sergeant Manley's liquid hair soap, which is literally just shampoo. All those things are being marketed to insecure men.
Stuffy, if they're marketed to insecure men, why am I so interested in them? Uh-huh. Got you on that one, didn't I?
I'm just thinking very carefully about how to phrase my answer. Sensitivity is of utmost importance, but feeling should never be spared in such a way as to prevent us from reckoning with the truth. The course of action demanded of us in this scenario is clear. You must accept that your internalization of the stereotypical tropes of masculinity has left you vulnerable to exploitation by cynical capitalists.
Done.
Furthermore, you must meditate on the concepts of the masculine and the feminine until you come to understand them as what they are, constructs created to sort individuals into easily recognizable categories which do not always precisely reflect reality, categories which anyone is at liberty to defy or transcend in order to exist as their true selves. Traditional gender roles be damned.
Okay.
Cool, so we got a deal, baby.
There is just one thing.
Shoot.
If things between you and this racist cop start to get heated, I hope you know you're on the hook for the damages.
No worries, baby. If it starts getting physical, I'll shut it down in 2 seconds.
You're sure you'll be able to?
Psh, come on, baby, like I can't whip some white trash county cop.
Alright, you're on the hook for whatever goes down. Any chance you'll need me to help out on a case doing something other than providing a venue?
Absolutely, baby. In fact, I took on a new case last week that I could use a hand on.
Do tell. Who's the client?
As a matter of fact, the client is none other than...
I wish to sample an expensive wine.
Oh, alright.
Please go to the wine cellar and select one for me immediately.
Any requests?
Red.
Coming right up. To be continued.
Explain yourself.
What's to explain, baby? I was gonna fill Wilhelmina in on your case.
If I didn't think I could trust you to protect my privacy, I wouldn't have hired you.
I got to tell a few other people, baby. I told Squirrel and Jack about it. You got a problem with that?
Ah, you got a problem with that?
Squirrel and Jack are your fellow investigators. Wilhelmina does not work for your firm.
I've just got to say, professional ethics aside, if you're trusting me with sensitive personal information, you're making a mistake because I do not give a shit.
Wilhelmina helps us out from time to time, baby. Her and Jack are like Benson and Stabler.
That reference means nothing to me. Keep the details of my case restricted to people who actually work for your agency, or I'll take my business somewhere else.
All right, but you're backing me into a corner here, baby. I'm gonna have to do some shit I don't want to do.
As Son of Husko said to the leader of the evil spacemen, that's a you problem.
I wasn't sure how expensive you wanted to go, so I picked out this one. It's a Pichon Longueville Baron from 2008 that goes for $150 a bottle. Is that higher than you were wanting to go?
Hold up, baby. Before you pop the cork on that wine, I gotta say something.
Okay.
So, I know you've been helping us out on cases this year, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you.
But the thing is, we have reached a point where... Goddamn, this is hard, baby.
Toby Benson, it's okay. Business is business, I understand.
I know, but it don't make what I got to say any easier. Wilhelmina, from now on, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to pay you for the casework you do.
Wait, you want to hire me?
You want to hire her?
Not full-time, obviously, but on a case-by-case basis, yeah.
You asshole, I thought you were gonna give me the brush off.
Why would I do that?
I don't know, but you were so uncomfortable that I figured it had to be bad news.
Why would I be uncomfortable about not having to pay somebody, baby?
Good point. Well, if this is the arrangement you want, then I accept.
Then it's a deal, baby. Drop by the office sometime and we'll fill out the paperwork. Welcome to the team, officially, baby.
Thank you.
We cool now, baby?
It's not the solution I had in mind. But yes, this is acceptable.
What are we talking about?
That client on the case I was talking about before you went downstairs?
You, Millicent?
Yes, it is I. I recently learned I was adopted. I have decided to locate my birth parents.
Well, now our conversation earlier makes a little more sense. I'll be honored to help any way I can.
It will be a great honor for you, I agree.
Oi, her pay's not coming out of my cut.
Hey folks, thanks for watching. Hope you liked this episode. And now here's Toby Benson with a few words for you. Toby Benson?
What's happening, babies? If you like this video, click like, share the video, and subscribe to this channel. And think about helping us to keep making videos like this one by supporting this channel with a monthly donation through Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Steve Shives to become a patron, baby.
Thank you, sir.
No sweat. So I got a question for you, baby.
Sure.
How much is Burger King paying you?
What? Burger King's not paying me anything.
You've been pushing that Impossible Whopper on me the last 3 weeks, and you're telling me you're not getting any money for that?
No! I was excited about the Impossible Whopper because I love Burger King and I'm a vegetarian, and when I tried it, I really liked it. So I just wanted you to try it so you could see if you really liked it too.
All right, fair enough. But if I find out that's not how it is,
I'm telling you the truth, I haven't seen a dime from Burger King.
because I eat at Burger King a lot more than you do, baby, so if anybody deserves some sponsorship money around here, it's me.
I agree.
Glad we have an understanding.
Isn't it a shame that we've become so commercialized and corporatized as a society that a friend can't even recommend something without us having to wonder if they're a paid corporate shill?
Just make sure you ain't holding out on me, baby.
Okay,